This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Welcome in, my friends, to another episode of Behind the Pen. My name is Mike Rankin, and I will be your host for today's show. And I apologize in advance. I am dealing with some sort of head cold. So if you hear some kind of nasty, nozzly tone in my voice, that's the reason. And I apologize because I know it's annoying. It's annoying to me, and I hate myself for it. But I'm here for you because I have so much to talk about. The NFL season's here, guys. Thursday Night Football, Trevor Siemian, former Northwestern Wildcat, making his debut in the NFL for the defending Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos. It should be a good one against the Carolina Panthers. Looking forward to watching that one. By the time you hear this episode of Behind the Pen, that game would be over. But still, nonetheless, Thursday, September 8th, we are so close to Bears football. September 11th, this Sunday in Houston. Bears, Texans, looking forward to that. Going to break some stuff down, kind of recap the preseason, give you my thoughts on what to expect this season for the Chicago Bears, as well as other topics on hand, such as, Colin Kaepernick not standing for the national anthem. I have to comment on that. I'm going to get into it a little bit, as well as some Major League Baseball news. Oh, man. And it kind of pains me to say that I have to talk about this, but I'm going to. Tim Tebow signed with a team, the New York Mets affiliate. Why? Well, I'll get into that later as well. So, jam-packed show for you today. I'm also going to go around the MLB and give you some quick things, an update on the playoff races around the league. The Nationals took a hit, and Steven Strasburg's hurt, so I'll touch on some stuff and some things, and hopefully you enjoy. First, before I get into my first topic, which will be the Chicago Bears, got to plug our Patreon page. Patreon.com/Most Valuable Podcast. Become a Patreon. We do more for you. If you become a patron, that'd be awesome. Please do follow us on Twitter at Most Valuable Pod. You can follow me at Rankin906. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Most Valuable Podcast. We're moving on up there, guys. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty fun ride so far. You guys have been great. Keep commenting, sharing, posting. That Madden giveaway, by the way, I'm not in charge of it, so don't come at me about it. But I guess we're going to pick a winner soon. So just keep that in mind. All right. Let's see. What else do I have? That's pretty much it. All right. Let's talk about some Bears football, huh? Let's go. The Chicago Bears are back. Finally. And after a preseason where I pretty much hated myself throughout watching that, I have to say, I'm a little bit more optimistic now going into week one than I was about 2 weeks ago. And that's because Josh Sitton, big-time guard from the Green Bay Packers, decided to sign with the division rival and our hometown Chicago Bears. How awesome is that? Because not only does it fill a need on the offensive line, they're dramatically better now in that front five. There is still a lack of depth there. Say a person like Sitton or Whitehair or Long, God forbid, gets hurt. It's going to be tough to replace anyone. Honestly, there's really nothing. You have Ted, Larson, and everybody else. And I'm not even sure Larson is going to be the starting center come Sunday. So let's break down the offensive line. This Sitton move, it fell right into the Chicago Bears' laps. And you know what? It's been a while since the Bears had something good fall into their laps. And this one was much needed because probably the number one area of this team that needed help was within their offensive line. Josh Sitton is such an upgrade that it makes me optimistic again. It really does. They have much more flexibility now to open up, say, the screen game. I know this is little things, but their run game he's a great pass blocker, really good, really good run blocker. He's one of the top offensive linemen in the league, guys, and we got him. Now, our two guards are Sitton and Long. Hell yeah. Are you kidding me? Two of the best in the league. And then Larson and Whitehair now are battling for the center position. We'll see what happens. Is Larson going to be the man under center in week one? Maybe. Probably, because he's probably the safer bet. But the talented option is Cody Whitehair. Now, there's going to be growing pains with Whitehair. But according to reports and what I've seen, it looks like the Bears are confident in Whitehair. And it seems like Whitehair is getting better at the position. He's learning quickly. It's a smooth transition for the kid. So that is very being optimistic. That's great. You have to be for this season for it to actually be enjoyable. Because if you're going to go into the Chicago Bears 2016 season with the mindset, oh, 7-9, 6-10, 5-11, what are you watching the Bears for? You got to hope to make the playoffs, and this has been my mindset since the beginning, since last year, since they showed me that they were in multiple games. They had a chance to win multiple contests that would put them in the playoff hunt when they really had nothing, absolutely nothing. Now, their front seven's upgraded. They actually have playmaking ability on offense. So, hell yeah, I'm going to be optimistic about this team. I said it before, and I've said it again. I'll say it over and over again. Going into this season, I'm looking forward to a team that's going to make a playoff run. 10-6 can make the playoffs. And it's going to be tough. I know Minnesota Vikings just traded for Sam Bradford, shakes up the division a little bit. They lost Teddy Bridgewater. I still think the Vikings and Packers are the two teams the Bears are looking up at, but still, at the same time in the NFC, there are the Seahawks you got to worry about. There are other teams as well. I don't know about the NFC East, how that's going to pan out, but this Bears team is I backtrack a little bit now because of what I said about the preseason. The preseason kind of put a damper on my Chicago Bears optimism mood, because how awful was that? How awful was that? But finishing up on the offensive line talk, you have Charles Leno at left tackle. Then you move over to Sitton, and then Whitehair/Larson. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Whitehair's the starter at center. He should be. I want to see Whitehair at center. And then Kyle Long and Bobby Massey. Another thing, too, about this offensive line is Bobby Massey can get moved, bounced completely because he's bad. Move Kyle Long to right tackle, and then have Whitehair step in his guard. We'll see what happens there. Larson can also fill in at any position, so I guess that's a positive. But yeah, keep an eye on that right tackle position because Bobby Massey is not very good, and there's a reason why the Cardinals kind of dropped him. But okay, so that I don't want to end that conversation kind of negatively, but the offensive line is going to be a work in progress, but it's much improved with Sitton. And I was talking about the preseason. We didn't see much. They cut David Fales. David Fales reunited with Mark Trestman in the Ravens, if you saw that. So the Bears only have two quarterbacks on the roster. Connor Shaw broke his leg. Unfortunate. Looked like he would have been a nice third stringer option there, but hey, what are you going to do? So it's Brian Hoyer and Jay Cutler. And really, it's just Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler's got the weapons now. I want to see, it's interesting to me because I want to see how Cutler reacts to Dowell Loggins' offensive scheme. Now, what is he going to do with, more weapons down the field? Now, last year with Adam Gase, he felt comfortable, right, with the conservative play call, kind of rely on the defense a little bit, despite the fact that the defense had no talent. They weren't taking shots downfield, relied on the run game. They're going to do that. But with a healthy Alshon Jeffrey and a healthy Kevin White, I better see some plays go downfield. More than 15 yards. That's not asking too much. Like, the reason why Cutler had such a good year last year and why his completion percentage numbers were up, his quarterback rating was up, he wasn't moving the ball, pushing downfield as consistently as he was in prior coordinators. So I want to see the dynamic Dowell Loggins has with Cutler. Will he work with him? Will Cutler work with him? Because we've seen it before. Cutler hated Martz. Cutler hated Tice. When he first came into the league, he really didn't work well with Ron Turner. No, actually, you know what? Yeah, 2009, he led the league in interceptions. 2010, NFC Championship. If I'm not mistaken, that was Ron Turner. So, things change. Aaron Kromer was a complete disaster, by the way. That man was nuts. He still is nuts. So that was a joke in and of itself. And of course, Mark Trestman. Mark Trestman had no business being, I don't even know why he's still in the league, but whatever. The point I'm making is Adam Gase was the only guy Cutler worked well with. Let's see how it is with Dowell Loggins. So far, the body language, I don't want to read too much into it, but it's not looking good for me. Because with Cutler, if he doesn't work well with a specific coach, and it's obvious, you could just see it. Last year, we saw Cutler really excited, I guess. It was a different kind of persona we saw from Cutler with Adam Gase because they worked so well together. So keep an eye on that. Lots of stuff to keep an eye on as the season starts. But the most exciting part of this Chicago Bears team, in my opinion, not only do we have I'm not on the Bears. Do the Bears have talented options on the offensive side? Their front seven, I mentioned, their front seven is so much more improved. Akeem Hicks had a nice preseason. Eddie Goldman stepped up another year. He looks better. And he probably is going to be one of their main contributors on the defensive side. Some unfortunate news, and you know what, this goes back to last season as well. Pernell McPhee. Pernell McPhee is going to be on the PUP list for a while, and I'm not sure when he's going to be back, if he's going to be back at all this season. That would be terrible if he missed the entire year. But 6 to 10 weeks, I'm assuming, and maybe at that point the Bears are 6-4 or 7-3. Oh my God, if they're 7-3, if they're 6-4 after 10 weeks, they're right in the middle of a playoff hunt. Absolutely 100%. And you're going to need McPhee. So as long as he's healthy, I want to see him on the field this year. Kyle Fuller, haven't seen him at all this preseason. He's been dealing with an injury. Is he going to start this Sunday? Who knows? I don't know if DeAndre Hall, he looked okay this preseason. He did. I'm going to say, yeah, there was a lot of positive reviews of DeAndre Hall, but it's obvious he needs work, especially turning his head back to the ball. That's not going to happen overnight. He's gonna have to adjust. But overall, DeAndre Hall had a pretty decent preseason, it was a draft pick, something that they're excited about. Harold Jones-Quartey, guys, he's starting at safety, and that's a good thing. That means Adrian Amos and Harold Jones-Quartey, and no Chris Brzezinski. Chris Brzezinski is a decent backup to have. And, I mean, a veteran presence knows where he has to be on the field. It's just you want athletic players who are young and can make plays. Hopefully, Jones-Quartey stepped up last year, and he looked okay. He looked pretty good, especially late in the season. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's a lot of mismatches, though, in the secondary that are concerning. Overall, defensively, you feel pretty good. You feel pretty confident because you have Vic Fangio, one of the top defensive minds in all of football, commanding your defense, giving you a chance. And this offense, really, for the Bears, they just don't have to shoot themselves in the foot over and over again. Don't turn the ball over. Get them, win the field position battle, score in the red zone, right? I mean, that's basically what it is. If you rely on this defense, you win the field position battle, you'll win football games. Because John Fox's conservative play style, especially offensively, they like to manipulate the clock a little bit. So going into Houston, they're facing Brock Osweiler, facing J.J. Watt, whatever. Yeah, I know people are all up in arms that J.J. Watt's coming back. I'm not, whatever. I assumed he would be back. And I don't think he's going to play more than 35 snaps. If he does, power to you. That man just had a major major injury, and now he's back like in week 1 in a limited amount of recovery time, and you're going to put him out there for over 60 plays. Good luck to you. So 35 plays I expect from Watt, and if he's on the field for more than that, whew, man, this guy's a beast. But that's okay, though. That's okay, because like what gives me most hope here to start the NFL season for Chicago Bears is look at their first 4 opponents and tell me who their quarterbacks are. We have Brock Osweiler, okay? First year as a starter in Houston under a new system. He beat the Bears last year in Denver, making his first career start. Now he's making his first career start under Houston. Whatever. A new system. The Bears should win that battle against Brock Osweiler. Then they're playing Carson Wentz against the Eagles on Monday night the next week. Carson Wentz, are you kidding me? This Eagles team is very up in the air. I don't know what to expect from Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz in his second week, the Bears should win that battle. And then you have the Cowboys the week after on Sunday Night Football. Yeah, they're in Dallas, but it's Dak Prescott. It's not Tony Romo. If it was Tony Romo, I'd tell you they'd lose that game. It's Dak Prescott. We don't know what to expect from Dak Prescott as well. And then the Lions, Matthew Stafford. The Bears should be at worst 2-2. If they go 1-3 or 0-4 to start the season, I'm packing it in, guys. That's it for me. I'm done. I don't care. This schedule right here is probably the most favorable schedule the Bears have had in a long time. And one of their division rivals lost their franchise quarterback for the year. Possibly longer than that. This is a major knee damage going on in Teddy Bridgewater right now. So right now, it's time for the Bears to take advantage, and it starts September 11th in Houston. I expect them to win. They better win this game. They better win this game. And I want to see them play to a level where it gives me more optimism that I had last year. Last year with a team that was terrible, that actually won 6 games. This team can win 10. With this schedule, with the talent they have on the defensive side, with the weapons they have on offense, the run game, the defensive coordinator, everything about it. The Chicago Bears are ranked 28th or something in the power rankings, or 29th. It doesn't matter to me. This team is better than what they look like on paper, and I hope it translates on the field this Sunday.